We're here at the Busan Mobility Show in South Korea. And I have some very cool product to show you from Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia. But first, behind me is a Genesis that is covered up. You're gonna wanna see what's under this cover. We landed in Seoul to experience the largest city in Korea, and then took the bullet train out to Busan for the Mobility Show to learn about Hyundai and Genesis and their impact on the automotive industry. We went to the Ulsan factory, which is the largest car factory in the world. That's from any brand. Quite a large facility. It has 31,000 employees at that location. And then afterwards, we had a very rare opportunity to board one of the ships that's shipping vehicles from Korea all around the world. The ship that we were on had 12 floors and held 6,800 cars. They load this vehicle in 2 shifts, and it takes about 12 and a half hours to load. Getting an opportunity to be on the Century ship was a very rare experience, and watching how they put the vehicles on the ship and lock them down was also quite cool. Why are we in South Korea? Well, more than just the mobility show, we were here to do a deep dive into the Korean culture and how it impacts the vehicles that they produce. They don't produce vehicles like other countries because the Korean way has a certain style, a certain feeling, a certain sonnim, which means honored guest. And that is how Genesis produces their cars. They think about who the person is that's using the vehicle, and it's more than just words. They actually allowed us to experience the culture so that we could express this when we review the cars. We learned about the people, the culture, and the food, and the design process by going to the factory and talking to designers, and then seeing the results we've all seen on the roads, but now understanding what happens behind the scenes and why vehicles are produced the way they are. Very important factor, as each manufacturer puts their country's personality and their designers into the vehicle. You may not realize that when you drive it. Here's what we saw at the 2024 Busan Mobility Show. Some impressive vehicles. Mini Coopers are still one of my favorite cars, and Mini is here. They're selling a lot of them here in Korea, and they've got some launches. First off, you've seen the Mini. They've got Mini Electric. These are really cool cars, and they're getting bigger and bigger. I remember when Mini was a little teeny. Now they've got the Countryman, which is their largest SUV, and it comes in John Cooper Works JCW, which is my absolute favorite. Let me show you this one. This has got the red roof. This is all new. John Cooper Works has now been moved onto the behind the B pillar here. You can see this all 4, meaning all-wheel drive. It used to be on the fender. It's now been moved. The fenders are nice and clean. A lot of new design and styling. If you take a look at the all-electric Mini Cooper, this is the new all-electric. It's regular hardtop Mini, still small. But this is part of the BMW family. BMW has brought us a very cool design coupe. This is the Vision New. This is also part of the M4, and we know that there's no longer gonna be an XM in the US, and it looks like globally they're gonna replace that with a 5 Series. So right now we're looking at the M4 and the iX2, which is electric. We have the X2M available also in the US. Let's take a look at some of the other cars. Lots of new technology coming from Hyundai. We've all seen the electric product line they have with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and 6, and now the 5N bringing in performance cars. But they're also bringing in some new technology, and one of those cool technologies is hydrogen. So you're gonna start seeing these pods, which I think are really cool. They're using a lot of technology, including solar, but really what they're doing is they're reusing some of the waste, which is really cool. They're using food waste, using human waste, and off of that is something that's called methane. That's what off gases. They're using that methane into large tractor trailers. Like this is a cab over. We don't have cab overs here in the US, but this is what they have in Europe. Very common type of transportation for big trucks. So you're gonna start seeing this methane being used from the port to the warehouse. Super smart use of recyclable materials, making it extremely green. Where before you were thinking wind and solar, now we're using hydrogen fuel cell technology, which Hyundai is doing a huge investment. This is the new Hyundai Casper. Currently, it is available in Europe and other countries, not available in the US. It's about 315 kilometers of range. We're gonna guess it's gonna be somewhere around 200, 225 miles of range, much like a Fiat 500. A little bit different from the previous generation. It's a little longer, has optional black roof, and a lot of technology inside. Some really cool features that are coming new for Hyundai. You're gonna see a lot of new product coming, both electric, hydrogen, gas, and hybrid, because that's what consumers want. And that's the little sign for Casper. Reminds me of something digital from like the 80s when we used to do dot matrix logos. Very cool stuff here at Hyundai. The future of mobility, Hyundai is looking into aircraft. They're a very large company. A lot of people don't realize it. They're more than just a car company. They're working on hydrogen. They're working on fuel cells. They're working on airplanes and personal mobility machines. They've been talking about this for a while, and they're getting closer and closer. And within the very near future, Hyundai is going to start offering some pretty cool equipment that could get you from place to place in a slightly different way. Among some of the important launches here at the Busan Mobility Show in South Korea is the Kia Tasman. Now, this might look familiar because it does look like a Hyundai Santa Cruz. It is also a direct competitor to the Ford Maverick. This is important to this market. Pickup trucks are really popular. Of course, this one's all wrapped and stylized. They will have normal colors available for you. We're gonna get a lot more details on this. We also saw the Kia EV3 launch here as well. Check out some of the other things we saw at the Kia booth. This is the Genesis X Grand Racer concept. It is a Gran Turismo car. It is the part of the new Magma line. Much like my jacket, it is orange. It is very hot. We saw this at the New York Auto Show, but didn't get a lot of time with it. We're getting a little bit more time with it now. You can see this vehicle is race ready. We're gonna actually be at Goodwood Festival of Speed. They're gonna have this on the track. I wanna see it going. We've also got other performance cars coming from Genesis. We also were able to see what I'm calling the GV90. They're not, they're calling it a new concept. But if that comes to market, the Germans better worry, because when you start doing some creative technology like wood floors, turning seats, real leather materials, you'll also see that they showed us the G80 electrified. If you've seen the other electrified lineup from Genesis, beautiful cars, more technology, more natural materials. This is the kind of thing that consumers are looking for, but this is the vehicle that I want to take on the track. As a racer for many years, this could be a blast and a real game changer when it comes to Genesis. They're coming after the Germans. They better be paying attention, because as they take more market share, the Germans better start worrying, because it's going to cost them on the bottom line. Genesis showed us the X Grand Racer Vision concept. Now, it is a Gran Turismo vehicle that you can play on the game today. This vehicle will have 1,540 horsepower. It is a hybrid sports car, and it's supposed to showcase it at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. That should be interesting. We'll be there to report on that as well, so make sure to follow and subscribe. Scooters are super popular here in Korea. It's a great way to get around. So, of course, Dot Station has brought us quite a few of the coolest, newest scooters that are reasonably priced for the average person to get around in this busy city. There's a lot here at the Busan Mobility Show. This is an every other year event, and we are very excited to be here courtesy of Genesis. And I have to say, when you look at some of the product that's here and you see what's coming down the road, you're going to see more than just electric cars. You're going to see hydrogen technology, you're going to see hybrid, you're going to see performance cars still. Yay, because there's nothing worse than having a car that's just a utility purpose that has no personality to it. Lots of personality here, lots of mobility devices that would also be of interest, like Can-Am, there's boats, there's scooters, there's a lot of different ways to get around. We'll have more on our social media. If you have any additional questions, put the comments down below. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for all of our connections is down below in the description, as well as the vehicles that we talked about and ways to get more information. Thanks so much for your time. I'm Lauren Fix. We'll see you next time.